What if someone much younger than you is secretly falling in love with you, and it has nothing to do with your looks? Psychology suggests that people are often drawn to those who give them something they can't find anywhere else: peace, wisdom, and genuine understanding. In this video, you'll discover the 3 powerful reasons why a younger person may be deeply attracted to you without even fully understanding why. Most young people are growing up in a world that never seems to slow down. Every day they are surrounded by expectations, competition, endless comparisons, and the pressure to constantly prove themselves. Their minds are often filled with questions about the future, worries about relationships, concerns about success, and fears about whether they are making the right choices. Even when they appear confident on the outside, many carry an invisible storm within them. This is why they become deeply intrigued when they encounter someone whose energy feels different from everyone else around them. You may not realize it, but your calmness speaks louder than words. It is not the calmness of someone who has never faced difficulties. It is the calmness of someone who has walked through challenges and survived them. There is a quiet strength in people who have learned that not every problem requires panic, and not every setback is the end of the world. A younger person can sense this almost immediately. They may not be able to explain it logically, but they feel it emotionally. When they talk to you, they notice that you do not react impulsively to every situation. You listen before speaking, you think before acting. You carry yourself with a sense of balance that is becoming increasingly rare. In a culture that rewards instant reactions and emotional extremes, your steadiness feels refreshing. It feels safe. Human beings are naturally drawn to what they lack. If a younger person is experiencing confusion, uncertainty, or emotional chaos, they may become fascinated by someone who embodies stability. Your presence becomes a reminder that life does not have to be lived in a constant state of anxiety. You show them another way of being, without realizing it. They begin associating you with relief from the pressure they feel every day. There is also something deeply comforting about being around a person who does not need to dominate every conversation or demand attention. Many younger individuals spend their lives encountering people who are trying to impress others, prove their value, or seek validation. When they meet someone who is comfortable simply being themselves, it creates a powerful contrast. Your confidence does not come from showing off. It comes from knowing who you are. That quiet confidence has a calming effect on those around you. What attracts them is not perfection. In fact, perfection often creates distance. What attracts them is the feeling that you have made peace with life. They sense that you have experienced disappointments, losses, mistakes, and struggles, yet those experiences did not make you bitter. Instead, they made you wiser. This realization inspires trust. Trust is one of the strongest foundations of emotional attraction because people naturally move toward those who make them feel secure. As they spend more time around you, they may notice that their own worries seem smaller, their thoughts become clearer, their emotions feel less overwhelming. They start looking forward to your conversations because they leave feeling grounded rather than drained. This emotional experience becomes difficult to forget. Long after the conversation ends, they continue thinking about how they felt in your presence. And often, what begins as admiration for your calmness slowly develops into something much deeper, because genuine peace is one of the rarest and most attractive qualities a person can possess. One of the most powerful qualities a person can develop is self-awareness, yet it is also one of the rarest. Many people move through life without truly understanding themselves. They adopt opinions because others expect them to. They hide parts of their personality to gain acceptance. They spend years trying to fit into roles that were never meant for them. Because of this, a younger person is often fascinated when they encounter someone who appears genuinely comfortable in their own skin. There is something remarkable about a person who no longer feels the need to constantly prove their worth. Such individuals do not chase approval from everyone they meet. They do not shapeshift to satisfy every expectation placed upon them. Instead, they possess a quiet understanding of who they are, what they value, and what they stand for. This level of self-knowledge creates a presence that feels both authentic and powerful. A younger person may not immediately recognize why they are drawn toward you. They simply notice that being around you feels different. In a world where many people seem uncertain about their identity, you appear grounded, your words align with your actions. Your beliefs are not easily shaken by trends or social pressure. You do not seem desperate to gain attention or validation. This consistency creates a sense of trust and admiration. For many younger individuals, life is still a process of discovery. They are trying to understand their strengths, weaknesses, desires, and purpose. Some days they feel confident, and on other days they question everything about themselves. During this stage of life, meeting someone who has already traveled much of that inner journey can be deeply inspiring. They see in you a level of clarity they are still searching for within themselves. What makes this attraction so powerful is that it often operates beneath conscious awareness. They may tell themselves they admire your intelligence, your confidence, or your perspective. While those things certainly matter, the deeper reason is often your authenticity. You are not performing a role. You are not wearing a mask. You are simply expressing who you truly are. Authenticity has a magnetic quality because it gives others permission to be authentic as well. Many people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to become what they think others want them to be. This creates inner tension and emotional exhaustion. When a younger person encounters someone who has largely freed themselves from that struggle, they feel a sense of relief. Your example silently communicates that it is possible to live without constantly seeking approval. It shows them that self-respect is more valuable than popularity, and that inner peace is more rewarding than external validation. They may begin paying close attention to how you handle challenges, disagreements, and difficult situations. They notice that your sense of identity does not collapse when others disagree with you. You remain steady because your confidence comes from self-understanding rather than outside praise. This kind of strength feels rare and attractive. Over time, their admiration grows because they begin to see you as a reflection of what they hope to become. Not necessarily in every detail, but in the way you relate to yourself. They recognize that you have developed a relationship with your own mind, emotions, and values that many people never achieve. And because they are still building that relationship within themselves, they feel naturally drawn toward the person who embodies the clarity, authenticity, and self-acceptance they are striving to find. At first, a younger person may believe they are attracted to you because of your personality, your appearance, or the way you make them feel. While those things can certainly play a role, there is often a deeper force at work beneath the surface. What truly captures their attention is the way your presence awakens something inside them. You inspire them to grow. You challenge them to think differently. You make them see possibilities within themselves that they had never fully recognized before. Most people are naturally drawn toward individuals who reinforce their current beliefs and habits. It feels comfortable to remain the same. Growth, on the other hand, requires effort, honesty, and courage. Yet there are certain people who make personal development feel exciting rather than frightening. When a younger person encounters someone with wisdom, maturity, and a broader perspective on life, they often feel an unexpected desire to evolve. Perhaps it begins with a simple conversation. You share an insight that causes them to see a problem from a completely different angle. Maybe you speak about resilience, patience, discipline, or self-respect in a way that resonates deeply. Suddenly, they realize there is more to life than the limited view they have been carrying. A new door opens in their mind, and they begin questioning old assumptions. This experience can be incredibly powerful because growth is one of the deepest human needs. Every person wants to feel that they are becoming something greater than they were yesterday. However, many people struggle to find role models who genuinely inspire that transformation. They encounter individuals who seek attention, power, or admiration, but very few who encourage meaningful personal growth. When they meet someone who embodies qualities they admire, something shifts within them. They begin paying attention to the choices you make. They notice how you handle setbacks without giving up. They observe the way you treat others with respect and dignity. They see your ability to remain composed during difficult moments. These qualities create a living example of the person they wish to become. What makes this attraction unique is that it goes beyond simple admiration. Admiration alone can remain distant. Personal growth creates emotional investment. The younger person begins associating you with positive change in their own life. They may start reading more, reflecting more deeply, making better decisions, or pursuing goals they once avoided. Every improvement they experience becomes connected to the influence you have had on them. This creates a strong emotional bond, because people rarely forget those who help them discover their potential. Long after specific conversations fade from memory, they remember how those conversations changed the way they saw themselves. They remember the confidence they gained, the fears they overcame, and the possibilities they began to believe in. Another reason this dynamic becomes so powerful is that genuine growth often requires someone to see greatness in us before we can see it ourselves. Many younger individuals carry hidden doubts and insecurities. They underestimate their abilities and focus on their weaknesses. When you recognize strengths they have overlooked and encourage them to develop those strengths, it creates a profound emotional impact. Gradually, they begin to realize that being around you makes them want to become better, wiser, stronger, and more authentic. And because your presence is connected to that transformation, their feelings naturally deepen. What started as curiosity becomes admiration, and what began as admiration can slowly evolve into a powerful emotional attachment rooted in inspiration, self-discovery, and the desire to grow into the best version of themselves. One of the deepest human desires is the desire to be truly seen, not noticed for appearance, not valued for achievements, not appreciated only when useful, but genuinely seen for who we are beneath the surface. Most people move through life feeling that others understand only fragments of them. Friends may know their personality, family may know their history, colleagues may know their abilities, yet very few people take the time to understand the fears, dreams, wounds, and hidden thoughts that exist behind the public image. This is why a younger person can develop such strong feelings for someone who truly understands them. In a world full of distractions, genuine attention has become increasingly rare. Most conversations are rushed. Most interactions remain superficial. People often listen only long enough to respond rather than to understand. As a result, many individuals carry thoughts and emotions they have never fully shared with anyone. When they meet someone who listens with patience and curiosity, the experience feels different. They notice that you are not merely hearing their words. You are paying attention to the meaning behind those words. You recognize emotions they are trying to hide. You notice concerns they rarely speak about openly. Sometimes you understand what they are feeling before they can even explain it themselves. This kind of understanding creates an emotional connection that is difficult to describe. For perhaps the first time, they feel as though they do not need to pretend. They do not need to impress you. They do not need to hide their uncertainties or weaknesses. They feel accepted as they are. That feeling can be incredibly powerful because acceptance is something many people spend years searching for. A younger person may be surrounded by friends and family and still feel lonely. Loneliness is not always the absence of people. Often, it is the absence of understanding. Someone can have countless conversations every day and still feel unseen. But when they encounter a person who genuinely understands their inner world, that loneliness begins to fade. They feel connected in a way they may have never experienced before. Part of what makes this bond so meaningful is that being understood creates emotional safety. When people feel safe, they lower their defenses. They become more honest. They reveal thoughts and feelings they normally keep hidden. As this process unfolds, trust naturally grows, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of deep emotional attachment. There is also something profoundly healing about being seen by someone who recognizes both strengths and weaknesses without judgment. Many people fear that if others knew their insecurities, they would be rejected. Yet when you acknowledge their imperfections while continuing to value them, it challenges those fears. They begin to believe that they do not need to be perfect to be worthy of care and respect. Over time, your understanding becomes associated with comfort, acceptance, and emotional relief. They start looking forward to your conversations because they leave feeling lighter and more understood. They feel that they can share parts of themselves that remain hidden from everyone else. This creates a sense of intimacy that goes far beyond ordinary attraction. As the connection deepens, they realize that what they value most is not what you do for them or what you give them. It is how they feel when they are with you. They feel recognized, they feel accepted, they feel understood. And because genuine understanding is one of the rarest experiences in human life, the person who provides it often becomes unforgettable in their heart and mind. The strongest attractions are rarely based on surface qualities. They are born from emotional safety, self-awareness, personal growth, and genuine understanding. When these qualities exist together, they create a connection that transcends age and ordinary attraction. So if someone younger seems deeply drawn toward you, remember this: they may not simply be attracted to who you are. They may be responding to the peace, wisdom, and authenticity they discover whenever they are near you, and sometimes that kind of connection becomes impossible to forget. Thank you for watching. I hope this message gave you a deeper understanding of the hidden forces behind human attraction and emotional connection. Remember, the qualities that leave the strongest impression on others are often the ones that come from within: peace, authenticity, wisdom, and understanding. Take care of yourself. Keep growing and keep shining your unique light. Until next time, thank you for being here and goodbye.